Alright, so if you don't know what SMMA is, or if you've never heard the term social media marketing agency, this is probably not the video for you. Okay, but I'm kind of guessing that if you're watching these type of videos, you probably have heard of them before, because it is becoming a pretty big trend in the whole social media marketing, e-commerce, making money online space, because there has been a huge demand for it. Businesses radically are being changed by the need to go into social media marketing. Newspapers, flyers, leaflets and stuff no longer works, and pretty much online marketing has put a lot of businesses out of business. Toys R Us is kind of one of the biggest examples that comes to mind, and how they were literally just obliterated by Amazon because they refused to change. The problem is social media marketing generally has been something that only big companies with a lot of budget have been able to do. So a lot of these little companies, and when I say little, I don't mean like a one-man company. I mean small startups and family-run businesses. They have a drastic need to go towards social media marketing because it can also improve the results. But they've kind of run into a bit of an issue where they don't have the skills. Social media marketing is not taught in university, okay? At least it cannot be taught, because literally Facebook changes their whole platform every couple of weeks. It's impossible that university degrees can keep up with that. So you cannot hire someone to do this. So it's very hard to find the people. And then the last thing is, generally it has been expensive. Some of the marketing agencies which have offered this have been, McKinsey, Bain, some of your biggest in the world who work with Coca-Cola, Barclays, Bank of America, etc. So, family businesses just haven't been able to afford it. And then on top of that, people just haven't been exposed to the results that it can bring. However, in the last couple of months, it's kind of become popularized that if you have the skill, which you should have been developing already through e-commerce, which is running Facebook ads correctly, optimizing them, scaling them, and then even doing the same thing on Google ads, as well as Snapchat and others, you can become a freelancer or create your own agency. So essentially, you could go to a family-owned business and say, hey, I have the skills, these are my past results, so I will run your ads for you, and do all of it for you, and then I'm going to charge you a monthly service fee. Now, there's a couple things to unpack there. The first thing is it's a monthly service fee, which makes it very, very attractive to people like me and you who are trying to make money on the internet, because e-commerce is very, very much an unpredictable business. It's very hard to predict how much you're going to make next month, especially in dropshipping, because remember, you're not technically building a product for the long term. You're constantly changing products, building new stores, closing down ones which are not working. Trends fluctuate up and down, seasons come. Dropshipping has become more competitive. Facebook ads go up, things like that. It's very, very hard to predict, am I going to get 100 people to buy next week or 20 people? Okay. Whereas social media marketing is a monthly service fee. So for that reason, it has become very, very popular amongst us. Okay. And led to the whole SMMA, which is a social media marketing agency. Tons of people have courses on it. It's pretty big over the internet if you haven't heard of it. So I'm kind of making this video on how I got my first client as a social media marketing agency. If you haven't heard, the agency which I own is called SpearPoint Analytica. Like I have said, I have a bit of a tendency to move more towards the technical side of things. So my approach on the whole agency has been very, very different. We do standard social media marketing for brands. We do that, but it's not my long-term goal. I want to do a little bit of stuff in terms with AI, machine learning, and just more technical stuff. That's why I'm building it over long term. But in the short term, it is essentially about just bankrolling and getting cash flow and getting some money in the bank. Now, if you've ventured into this, you've probably heard, do LinkedIn is a big one at the moment. Do what's the other? Do emails and do cold calls. Those are kind of your three biggest, avenues of getting clients. Unless you want to go do door-to-door sales, which is literally just walking down every single business and just speaking. And that's something that I would actually recommend. Not just because of the sales aspect, it is a lot more impersonal. And I do think if you are struggling to get sales, it's probably a good idea for you. but also it gives you more of an insight of the business, and you get to speak to business owners and build relationships which could change into other things. But specifically in this video, I wanted to just tell you a bit of the story on how I got my first $2,000 per dollar client. Okay, so this client is still with me today. Every single month they essentially pay me $2,000 for running their social media marketing. And the way that I ended up getting them is actually pretty unique. So before them, just to give you some context, I already had some clients, but not high ticket. So, charge about $800, $900, maybe $1,000 per month. This was by far the highest ticket client. Since then, we have, thankfully, increased that to the point where we have clients who now pay us a little bit more. But this was really a benchmark, and I guess that first wow effect in what can be achieved here. And the way that I actually found them will interest a lot of people because I found them through Kickstarter. Okay, this is something that is not spoken much on SMMA, and I don't know why. But Kickstarter is this platform where if you have an idea, so you want to invent a new product. Some of the best products in the world have come from Kickstarter, and Indiegogo is the other one. Essentially, you need money. If you want to build some really, really cool video game, or you want to build some really, really cool product, you need money because you have to hire people, you have to put money into the softwares and stuff, you have to buy all the rights and manufacturing if it's a physical product, and all that stuff. So Indiegogo and Kickstarter is a place where you can list your idea, and you have to be a bit descriptive, so you have to put some images and not a business plan, but just a scope of what the product is, and people can essentially raise money for you. So you can set a goal of, let's say you need $100,000 to bring this product to life, and people will come and invest in your product in exchange for a reward that you can stipulate. So every product is different in terms of what reward it is. Some people choose to give 1, 2 or a lifetime free membership if it's a game, or like free products of whatever you're manufacturing before it comes out, stuff like that. So very important, you're not selling shares, you're actually giving a reward. Okay, because you don't actually have a company yet. But anyway, what I did is Kickstarter has rolled out something recently where you can do an advanced search on their entire platform. So I literally went and I chose all projects which have been funded, which means they hit their goals. Okay, so you can see literally how much money they have been given. So if someone has been given $500, it's not a good idea to go pursue them, because if they only have $500, they're not going to spend a couple thousand on ads. It's not going to make sense for them. Okay, so I was kind of looking in the $200,000 to $300,000 range, because obviously there's product costs and everything else that came in there. So I looked at that it has been funded, so I know that they have money. I also then looked at products and made sure that the product was an e-commerce based, kind of drop shipping, not drop shipping because they weren't, but same thing, kind of hosted on Shopify. Plus I then looked at their ads and made sure that they needed help or that they were trying. Because the biggest thing here that I've learned is you do not want to explain to someone why they should do social media marketing. It's very difficult to do, because if someone at this point in 2019 hasn't already done it, most likely they're not going to do it. So I stay away from that. I choose to go for people who know about it and are trying to do it and just not getting results. And that's what I saw. I'm not going to give the client's name away. I don't think that would be fair, but they were trying, and the ads and stuff were decent. There's a couple basic Facebook ad problems, and at this point they had no idea about lookalikes, custom audiences, pixels, any of that stuff. Plus the email marketing wasn't there, and they just had a ton of problems. So I literally, on the Kickstarter thing, you can get their email and their phone number, and I literally emailed them first. I was going to phone them, but I said literally, let me just email them first, give them some heads up, I guess as a courtesy, and it worked. So they reached back to me with an email and said, hey, we've been trying the social media thing, it's not working. At that time it was also Christmas period, so obviously everyone was rushing to get in some sales, which I think did kind of help. And they were literally like, yeah, we're really, really keen to start, but because it's Christmas pretty soon, we need it to happen like tomorrow. And I remember when I got the email, I was quite surprised, because there was literally like, no selling. We did have, I believe, 1 or 2 phone calls, just going over, how we charge and fees and prices and all that basic stuff. But essentially, there was very little convincing that I had to do, which was quite interesting, I guess. And they actually went and signed on straight away, and Stripe processed their payment. And ever since, we've done lots of work with them in terms of, we've also done some website design for them and stuff like that. And they continue to be a client of ours. And really, it was just because the whole industry, because there is a lot of social media marketers now. Mainly people not knowing what they're doing, because it's so easy to say, oh, I can run a Facebook ad. So that's a bit of a problem. But everyone's trying to do the same thing. Everyone's trying to do email, LinkedIn, and cold calling. Okay, everyone's just rushing to do that. If you're a business owner, okay, and you are a business owner that has money, okay, I guarantee you on LinkedIn, you're getting literally thousands of messages every single day, which are 100% automated. That's another thing. Or you're getting cold calls of, people, hey, can I come in? And then the dude comes in with like his laptop, and, it's just a waste of your time because you can't kick him out. It's a bit rude. But like, look at this guy, and he's going to, say the same speech as the last one, because they all get it from like online templates, Ty Lopez, all these guys. So I literally thought, let's differentiate. Let's try something new. And I think that's how you do grow. So we went kind of the Kickstarter and Indiegogo arena, and it ended up working out for us. Since then, we have obviously dabbled in a lot of other things, changed around what we do structure-wise, but overall, it's been a fairly big success. So yeah, that's a little bit of story time. That's how I got my first consistent $2,000 per month client. And if it is something that you're involved in or doing yourself, I would 100% recommend that you duplicate what I did. And try and do similar things. You can also factor down by location on Kickstarter, which makes it really, really, really powerful. And yeah, so that's the end of a little bit of story time. Tomorrow we'll probably be back with a video that is a little bit more practical and giving you direct implementation steps. But I thought this might be a little bit different, just to break up, I guess, the pattern of video. Again, with this, I'm not too sure if I'll give another consult call away. But you can try your luck, comment down below, and I'll see if we can get back to you. We are pretty busy at the moment, but try and fit in a call, even if it's just 15-20 minutes, and we can take it from there. So I hope that inspired you, motivated you, I guess, or at least if you enjoyed it and it took like, just 11 minutes or so out of your day, that's fine. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.